Why do poor folks in general brag about how much money they spent? Meanwhile, rich white people, they brag about how much money they save. Like, you get them Ross commercials, they brag about, crummy looking outfits that look like a winter's collection of caveman clothes, and the prices being cheap, and that's something worthy to be bragged about, including Goodwill and all these other places. Cheap, save your money, bam, good. That's the goal for them. They get that done. They don't even want to spend money on their dog that's dying to get medical care. They're cheap on that too. They're cheap so bad to the point that they're able to afford these $1 million mansions coming from nothing. And you got the rest of the poor folks keeping other poor people down and bragging about how much money they spent. They want to rag on someone who shopped at Payless and say their shoes make their feet stink like potato wedges or something. And then they want to brag and think they're better than anybody because they got some Slave Master Gucci slides and flip-flops and all this other stuff. They got Ferraris and all this stuff that they can't really pay for. So they're about that lifestyle of stunting, flexing and bragging and, being braggadocious and sedity and all that extra material stuff. And they mind be poor as hell. They have no creativity. They have no talent. They have nothing that can actually build them up to make a residual income. A good passive income. But all they know is to spend money and brag about it and work an active income job like McDonald's or something, or wherever they're working, a CVS pharmacy for minimum wage. You're working at a minimum wage place and you're driving a Ferrari. You got this big old mansion house that has a huge mortgage on it, and your money could just be depleted in about 2 weeks. And you're bragging about a house that doesn't even belong to you because you haven't even paid for it. And the government really owns it. And y'all just out here thinking y'all the most. Y'all just ish. Poor folks be the worst. Because there's too many of y'all, and all of y'all want to make a name for yourself off of another name brand that don't give a hoot about you, that will never take that money that you've given to them and put it back into your community. They'll be calling you all kind of names. They'll be campaigning everything in your direction for your oppression. They'll take that money and put that money towards a government official and use that government official to oppress you, because the representation is going to be middle class and upper class, not low class, impoverished thinking trash. It's not going to be that way. I don't see the profit in bragging about a bunch of stuff that's not going to get you nowhere. Like these iPhones, it ain't going to wipe your booty hole when you paralyzed. It ain't going to help you walk. It ain't going to pay your bills. It ain't going to tell you when it gets stolen. It ain't going to alert you when it gets stolen. It ain't going to alert you when your ex is snooping through it. It ain't going to do nothing special. It's the same phone as before. But y'all want to brag about this. Y'all want to have the thing that you think is the best, the next thing. You want to have that. You want to get your hands on it. Even if it means that you're financing it. You just have to have it. It's not a necessity. Like food, clothes, the Most High, and shoot, I don't even know if you could categorize a shelter. Some people are just nomads. Make a shelter out of anything: a car, a tree, a old raggedy bus, and a abandoned plane. You know, real poor people that are hood, they'll be good. And the ones who are not hood, you know, when they're not, they're shot. That's my motto. When you're hood, you're good, and when you're not, you're shot. Like those poor folks, those be the richest people, because they're the wisest among all the other poor people who want to just brag about everything. Poor folks, can we just band together, get wise, put our money in the right places, stop trying to make our oppressor richer, stop trying to make a name for yourself when you really ain't that important, because you ain't doing nothing for nobody. You ain't even doing nothing for yourself. You rich, you putting $300 outfits on your kids that are gonna spit up on it and then grow out of it in 2.5 seconds. Poor folks. I'm getting tired of y'all. Oh my gosh, I can understand, you know, splurging a little bit to take care of yourself, to, you know, make sure you good, you know, every now and then, but discipline is one thing. Discipline is one thing, so that way you can be able to prolong that fun experience for the next time, instead of having a fun experience all at once and then never have it in another 50 years. That's another thing right there. But all this flexing, it ain't gonna give you no protection.